For centuries, humanity has looked to the night sky and seen a small reddish point of light. This is Mars. It is more than just a planet. It is a destination. It represents a dream that is deeply woven into our collective imagination. We have told stories about it, written books and made films. Earth is our only home, but history teaches us that relying on a single location can be risky. Events like asteroid impacts or global catastrophes could threaten our existence. Spreading humanity to another planet like Mars is a form of cosmic insurance. It ensures that our culture, our knowledge, and our very being can endure. Sending humans to Mars is fundamentally different from any space mission we have accomplished before. The Apollo missions to the Moon were incredible achievements, but they were short trips to a nearby neighbor. Mars is not next door. Depending on the alignment of the planets, a one-way trip to Mars can take 6 to 9 months. Once colonists arrive, they cannot simply turn around and come home. This immense distance creates a communication delay that changes everything. Radio signals take between 4 and 24 minutes to cross the gap, meaning there can be no real-time conversations. Colonizing Mars is the ultimate engineering test because it pushes every field of technology to its absolute limit. The Martian environment is a minefield of engineering problems. Every system must work perfectly, and it must work in an environment that is actively trying to make it fail. Each of these issues demands a robust and innovative solution. The first and most fundamental challenge on Mars is its atmosphere. The Martian atmosphere is incredibly thin, about 100 times less dense than Earth's at sea level. Standing on the surface of Mars would feel like being at an altitude of over 20 miles above our own planet. Without protection, the liquids in a person's body would literally boil away. Fortunately, the abundance of carbon dioxide is also a resource. Technologies like the MOXIE experiment have proven we can convert Martian CO2 into life-giving oxygen. Mars is an incredibly cold planet. The average temperature is -81 degrees Fahrenheit. While temperatures at the equator can sometimes climb to 70 degrees during the day, they plummet dramatically after sunset to -100 degrees or lower. This extreme daily temperature swing places enormous stress on all materials and equipment. Metals contract, plastics become brittle, and seals can fail under these constant thermal cycles. Getting to Mars is only half the battle. The real challenge begins when you try to land. Engineers have a chilling name for this phase, the 7 minutes of terror. During these 7 minutes, the vehicle must slow down from over 12,000 miles per hour to a complete stop. Because of the communication delay, this entire process has to happen autonomously. The terror begins with atmospheric entry. As the spacecraft hits the thin atmosphere, friction creates incredible heat. A sophisticated heat shield is the only thing protecting the cargo from being incinerated. The next step is to deploy a massive parachute, but Mars's thin atmosphere creates a major problem. There simply aren't enough air molecules for the parachute to push against to create significant drag. Developing supersonic parachutes is incredibly difficult. In several tests, parachutes designed to be the strongest ever built have been torn to shreds in fractions of a second. The final task is powered descent using retro rockets. For Perseverance, this was achieved by the incredible sky crane maneuver, but scaling this up for heavy colony equipment is a monumental engineering leap. The rocket exhaust creates its own problems, kicking up massive clouds of dust and rocks that could sandblast the landing vehicle or create unstable landing conditions. Once safely on the ground, the first engineering challenge is securing breathable atmosphere. The only sustainable solution is to make our own air using Martian resources. MOXIE works by heating Martian air to extremely high temperatures, splitting CO2 molecules into carbon monoxide and oxygen atoms, then collecting the oxygen for breathing. Water extraction requires robotic systems that can dig into frozen ground and heat the soil. This automated mining operation would scrape away dry soil to reach ice-rich regolith below. Inside processing plants, frozen soil would be heated in sealed containers. As temperature rises, water ice sublimates into vapor, which is then collected and condensed back into liquid water. Colonists must grow their own food in pressurized greenhouses. These biodomes must maintain stable temperature, atmospheric pressure, and precise gas mixtures for plants to thrive. Early colonists will use hydroponic systems where plants grow without soil in nutrient-rich water, while working to process Martian regolith into fertile growing medium. A Martian habitat is a fortress against a hostile environment, providing protection from vacuum-like pressure, extreme cold, and deadly radiation. The first habitats will likely be prefabricated modules ready for immediate occupation. These structures must be exceptionally well insulated to maintain stable interior temperature, while the outside world cycles between freezing and deep freezing conditions. The most practical radiation protection is using Mars itself as a shield. By piling several feet of regolith around habitats, colonists create a natural barrier that blocks the vast majority of harmful cosmic rays. Even just a meter or two of compacted Martian soil can bring radiation levels inside the habitat down to something close to what we experience on Earth. Power is the lifeblood of a Martian settlement. Mars receives less than half the solar energy that Earth does, and massive dust storms can block sunlight for weeks, making solar power unreliable as a sole source. Nuclear fission provides constant, reliable power, independent of weather or season. Small, compact reactors can generate steady electricity for years without refueling, making them ideal for critical life support systems. Mars has only 38% of Earth's gravity. Living in this low-gravity environment will cause significant health problems as muscles and bones weaken, without the need to support full body weight. Colonists will need advanced medical facilities for frequent health screening, personal dosimeters to track radiation exposure, and proactive healthcare to manage the unique challenges of Mars living. The psychological stress of isolation will be immense. Engineering habitats that support mental well-being is as critical as providing air and water. This involves architectural psychology, dynamic lighting, and both private quarters and social spaces. The colony needs defined governance systems, conflict resolution protocols, and a balance between demanding work and recreational activities to build a cohesive, mutually supportive society. These are not science fiction concepts. They are tangible engineering problems being actively worked on today. We are testing supersonic parachutes, building prototype reactors, designing inflatable habitats, and refining life support systems. The path forward will be incremental. First missions will be robotic, landing heavy cargo and ISRU equipment. These machines will work for years, producing and stockpiling oxygen, water, and rocket fuel. The pursuit of Mars will drive innovation benefiting all humanity. The technologies we develop for Mars survival are the same ones we need for sustainable living on Earth. By establishing a self-sufficient branch of civilization on Mars, we create cosmic life insurance, ensuring human culture and achievement can survive any catastrophe that might befall Earth. The colonization of Mars is the ultimate engineering test, because it demands not one breakthrough, but dozens. The task is immense, but it is not impossible. It is a challenge that we can and must rise to meet. The path to Mars is the ultimate test, but it is also the ultimate opportunity. We are an exploring people. The red planet is not just a destination, it is a destiny, the chance to become a multi-planet species.